Monday's a big day, Max. Monday's a big, big day. Next time we're going to be talking to you, we're going to know what the new districts are across the state. And it struck me, so for you and I, we eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff, right?
Yes.
We eat, sleep, and breathe high school football.
We have
Texas.
a problem.
We know this stuff inside and out. We know how it works.
Right.
But I'm also cognizant of the fact that for a lot of people, this is very inside baseball.
Sure.
The UIL realignment is a bit of a mystery.
Yes.
There. So we kind of want to get you guys primed, get you ready for Monday's big UIL realignment. And first of all, I'll tell you what it is.
Oh.
Every 2 years, the UIL asks, which is the governing body of Texas high school football, asks every member school to turn in an enrollment number.
Yep.
And then they take those enrollment numbers and they break them up into classifications by size. So if you, for example, if you are over 2,150 kids this year, 2,149, then you are going to be in Class 6A, and then down to 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, and then down to 1A, which is six-man football. And then they take those and they break them down into geographic districts.
Yes.
So that happens every 2 years. The idea being that the landscape of Texas is changing so much in population that we have to do this every 2 years to make sure that there's not some school that has doubled in size that is now playing a school that is, that is halved in size.
Now, Greg, I heard a rumor. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Allen turning in an enrollment of over 7,000.
That is correct.
Right.
Yes.
They are moving to the Big 12.
They are moving to the Big 12. That's right.
Okay.
That's
All
right. They are actually opening
Okay.
the season at Iowa State, which is interesting.
That's weird.
Wow,
Okay,
it's
all
odd.
right. That's what I
Jack
thought.
Trice Stadium, get ready.
I just wanted to make sure I knew the thresholds here. And,
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
So that's coming up on Monday is the UIL at 9 a.m. And you can watch on Fox Sports Southwest as our good friend Craig Way will be kind of breaking down the UIL realignment live on Fox Sports Southwest. 9 a.m. is when they're going to release the districts. They're going to
Because Craig never sleeps.
And he really doesn't. But there's just kind of it's kind of an odd day because it all builds up. There's all this hype, and then at 9 a.m. they basically just kind of update their website.
Basically.
They kind of go publish,
yeah,
and it's done. And then it's this massive amount of data.
Right.
Okay. And so here is what you should be looking for on Monday. Here are the things that if you're looking for one or two things, obviously look for where your favorite team is going to be.
Right.
But here are the things that you need to be paying attention to. First of all, who's moving up and who's moving down. So we have a pretty decent idea of a lot of the teams, a lot of the major teams that are going to be stepping up in classification and stepping down in classification. For example, moving from Class 5A up to 6A, defending 5A Division I state champion George Ranch.
Right.
Fort Bend Ridgepoint, which made a deep playoff run. John Tyler, Lufkin Longview, a triumvirate of big-time East Texas powers. Austin Vandegrift is moving up. In fact, most of Leander ISD is moving up from 5A to 6A. Except Cedar Park.
So bad news for the rest of 5A. Cedar Park's still going to be around to whoop you.
So Wiley in the DFW area, McKinney in the DFW area are all moving up. But then there are teams that are moving up to 6A. And then there are teams that are dropping down from 6A to 5A. And the idea is, obviously, if you are dropping down, you are generally right under the cutoff.
Right.
Which means that you are, in theory, the big fish in the small pond, as opposed to the small fish in the big pond.
Right.
So moving down from 6A to 5A, Amarillo.
Yeah. Some significant teams
big
here.
Big for Mill Maxfield squad. Highland Park, after a 2-year stint in Class 6A, will be dropping back down to 5A. Port Arthur Memorial. Denton Ryan, who made a big run this year, and I think
it's a big one. We're going to talk a lot more about that next week, I think.
Austin High, the Maroons are dropping down. Brownsville Veterans Memorial down in the valley, dropping down, and then in the smaller classifications, you've got a lot of more movement as well. Terrell is moving down to 4A, so is Somerset. Anna is changing divisions in Class 4A. Graham is moving down. Robinson is moving down. And then Canadian, the
most significant one probably.
The three-time defending 2A Division I state champion, or two-time defending 2A Division I state champion. 3-time 2? I can't remember. They win so many championships.
Well, 2 in a row.
2 in a row,
But they've won 3.
Correct. Yes, that's right. They're moving from 2A Division I up to 3A Division II.
Right.
So they are changing things. So that's one thing to keep an eye on Monday.
Is there anything else we should keep an eye on?
Of course, Max.
Oh, good.
I sent you 3 bullet points. Did you not get them?
Is that what these are about? Should I be putting them up?
what are we even paying you for?
I have no idea.
Number 2, and this is something
to
that
play
I
Papa
think
Shot all day, apparently.
this is something that I think a lot of the casual fans don't realize, is that when coaches are looking at this, when they look at UIL realignment, they look at 2 things.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they look at their district.
For sure.
Okay, and that's what you want to do. If you are a fan of, I'm going to pick one at random, Texas High, Texarkana, Texas High, you're going to look at what your district is.
Yeah.
The other thing, the second thing they look at is their region.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is that path to the through the playoffs going to look
to
like?
the state semifinal? Yeah. That is where they need to get, because that is the thing that can change dramatically from year to year. Yeah. And normally there are some things that are set in stone. El Paso teams are going to be in Region 1.
Right.
Okay. West Texas teams in Class 5A and 6A are going to be in Region 1. They're going to be Districts 1 and 2. That's what's going to happen. And generally speaking, if you want to go from a 6A, 5A and 6A level, as well as most of the 4A level, the general rule of thumb is that you're going to start at El Paso. Okay, I'll do it backwards for the camera. You're going to start at El Paso, and then you're going to work your way, that would be clockwise, around the state, so that you're going from West Texas
1, 2, 3, 4.
to DFW to East Texas to Central Texas to Houston to South Texas. That's generally speaking how they're going to break it down. But you want to make sure you're paying attention to what region your favorite team is in, because those are the teams. Whoever's in, if you're in Class 5A, if you're in District 2, you need to be looking at districts 1 through 8, because that is your region, and you want to make sure what your path is going to look like. That is so key, and a lot of times you're going to have, the way that they break it down is that right on those cutoffs, right at District 8 and 9, or right at District 16 and 17, that can be a huge factor. For example, Region 2 in 5A Division 2 last year was a lot different than Region 3. Region 3 was a monster.
Yep.
Region 2, relatively navigable. Right. That's I believe where Frisco Lone Star came out of.
When we go through this, when we start trying to do our bracket predictions when the playoffs roll around, we go, oh, this region.
You go region by region.
Yeah. You go, this is going to be a fight, or you go, we're going to get a surprise team at the end of this one because this is just not as tough a road.
And so when you log on to TexasFootball.com on Monday to find the UIL realignment, that is one thing you need to pay attention to, is the regions. Okay? Pay attention to not just what district your team is in, but also the regions. And thirdly, where are the districts of doom going to be? And this happens every time around. There's 1 or 2 districts that you just go, holy cow, there's a lot of really good teams in that district.
This is going to hurt.
It's happened last time around. It was 25-5A, right? Cedar Park, Vista Ridge, all these big-time Central Texas teams.
Vandergrift, Marble Falls,
right.
Dripping Springs.
All these big-time Central Texas teams were all crammed together into one really good district. You could also lump in 16-5A, where you had the John Tylers and the Lufkins and all these big East Texas powers lumped together. The district, or the time before that, the realignment prior to this one, you had I can't remember what number it was, maybe 9-3A, but before they moved up to Class 6A, where you had Henderson and you had Gilmer and you had all these big time East Texas,
8 or 9,
all these giant, massive East Texas small school powers all lumped together. There's going to be, this is a guarantee, there will be 1 or 2 districts that you look at and immediately your eyes get wide.
Yeah, you go, hey, oh, wow, those are 3 programs that are state contenders before every season starts.
We don't know where they're going to be, but generally speaking, you're going to want to look in the big metropolitan areas. You're going to want to look in the DFW area. You're going to want to look in the Austin area. Look in the Austin Central Texas area.
Absolutely.
Where does Temple go? That's going to be interesting. South Texas, San Antonio. For example, this past realignment, we had Smithson Valley and Converse Judson and Cibolo Steel.
All in the same district.
Plus Schertz Clements, an upstart with a great quarterback in Frank Harris.
Those 4 teams end up owning that district.
Sure.
But it's a fight.
But it's a dogfight. And remember, it's not just about it's not just about who's in the top 4. It's about seeding. It's about getting the the right seed, avoiding those tough first-round playoff matchups. So those would be the 3 things that I would watch on Monday. And we will have a special extended edition of DCTF Live here on Monday where we're going to be breaking down all of UIL realignment. Just a lot to sort through. It's a fun day for us because it's just data dump. We go and we get a lot of stuff and we kind of break it down and figure out exactly what high school football is going to look like for the next 2 years. So we're going to have a big show on Monday, but we're going to be going through that. We're going to be going through who's moving up and who's moving down. We're going to be moving up. We're going to be talking about which regions are the toughest. And we're going to be talking about which districts are the toughest. Which districts are the districts of doom this time around.
The districts of doom part is probably my favorite.
It is. It's because there's going to be 1 or 2 that they're going to put state title contenders together. There's going to be one. You know, this past time around where you had Ewell's Trinity and South Lake Carroll in the same district. That is insane. So that's going to happen again. And then there are some teams that are going to be UIL realignment's always a bit of a white knuckle ride for them. I'm always interested to see where they put San Angelo Central. And the population in West Texas is shrinking. It's going down. So a lot of the teams that were in those in their district are dropping down. So they are still this big, massive school. We say it every time, all due respect to our friends at San Angelo, in the middle of nowhere. So where do they go? Do they lump them in with teams in the Panhandle? Do they lump them in with teams from Central Texas? Do they lump them in with teams, dare I say, from El Paso? Probably not, but you never know. So there's always a couple of schools that, because of their geographic limitations, you never know where they're going to go.
Bryan College Station, another great example. Brenham.
Do they get lumped in with Houston? Do they get lumped in with Central Texas? Do they get lumped in with East Texas in the Piney Woods or
Sometimes
Golden Triangle? So a lot of different things are going to be decided on Monday. So make sure you are here at DCTF Live, noon Monday. We will have it all broken down with a special live.
Are we going to go an hour?
Edition. We're going to go an hour, maybe longer.
Maybe 2.
Maybe we just go forever.
Forever?
Maybe we just
until someone tells us to get out of here.
Maybe we just don't stop broadcasting.
I don't know.